What's up, YouTube? Y'all thought y'all saw the last me? Think again. Hope everybody's doing well and staying safe. So let's jump right into it because I ain't gonna hold y'all. As I said in the video before, I just moved, and I moved from Arkansas to Texas. To some, I know that's not like a huge transition, but to others, you know, and to me, it was a big transition because I had never moved from home. I had never even, none of my immediate family had moved from Arkansas. So that was just, it was really scary. I talked myself out of it plenty of times. I think that's just something that us as people do. You know, you be comfortable and content with where you are. My family was there. I didn't have any family here in Texas. So it was just a scary transition, but I'm so glad I did it, and I'm just here to share some pros and cons with you guys that I did not know. One of the pros of moving from a small state to a bigger state is, of course, there's more things to do, more places to go, more people to see. That's definitely one of the major reasons why I wanted to move from Arkansas to begin with, was because it was just the same thing, same people, same job, just every day in and out. And I was definitely, you know, surviving, but just not living the life that I felt like I wanted to. So I built up the courage, and I'm telling you, it happened so fast. They always say billionaires don't think about the things that they want to do. Like, they just do it. Because once you start to think about it, you end up trying to you will talk yourself out of it, because your fears and your doubts get in the way. So I will say, if you're going through that, just push through. Just be like, you know, I can do this. I can do it. Acknowledge that we are human. We all have fears. We all have doubts. We all worry. But it's like, I recognize that you're there. I see you. But I'm not going to let you stop me from what I truly can be doing. Talk yourself out of trying to talk yourself out of it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, more things to do, more places to go, more food. It's like, I'm a big foodie. So one of the things that I've really liked about moving to Texas has been the fact that I have lots of food options. I know people be saying that Texas don't have good food options. I don't know where they got that from, and they're not going to the right spots, because, honey, almost everything that I go to, everything that I try, A1, because I'm one of those people that I'm going to read the reviews. I'm going to look at the pictures, all of that. And if you don't have pictures uploaded, like, it's just a straight menu, and I don't see any images on Google, like ain't nobody posted you on their page, I won't be there. So yeah, that's one of the pros to moving. And of course, with more people, that comes a con. And so the traffic. I know a lot of people say, especially when we're coming from a small state, like the traffic in the big cities, it can be kind of scary. And I get that, you guys. But let me tell you something. When you out there on the roads, on the freeways, you just gotta go with it. You gotta flow with the traffic, because if not, they will literally run over you. You know, you gotta be like, hey, I'm a big dog too, and I'm keeping up with y'all too. Y'all not finna sucker me into Bogart and cutting me off and switching lanes in and out, passing me. No, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. So I'm gonna show you that I keep up with you, and eventually it's gonna be nothing to you. It's gonna be like, oh, this is just normal. So coming from Arkansas, this wasn't as bad as it might be for somebody coming from, you know, Minnesota or New York or something like that. But the heat, that was one of the things that everybody was telling me, like, oh, you gotta get ready for the heat. And I don't think I could have ever prepared myself enough for it, because it definitely gets hot. But Arkansas gets hot too. If you're already in the South, moving to Texas is not like a major climate change. But like I said, if you're coming from somewhere up north, it will be something. So that's something you just got to consider when you're moving, doing a major move like that. Like, hey, how is my body going to adjust to the weather that it is there? So if you think you can handle it, then definitely come on down. I think it's just the humidity is what a lot of it is. It gets very, very humid. It could be 90 degrees outside, but it's feeling like 110. You know what I'm saying? So of course, with it being a bigger state, when I don't know about y'all, but prior to COVID, I was a very concert type girl. Like, I love going to me a good concert. I love music, period. So seeing entertainers and artists, I love doing things like that. So with being in a bigger state, it is more likely that your favorite artists and stuff will come to the state that you reside in. With being in Arkansas, you know, that's far and in between. You definitely gonna have to drop that bag to get them to come there, because Arkansas, that's not something I'm sure that's in their roster. Like, ooh, let's go there. No. So Houston, Dallas, more than likely the artists and the entertainers are gonna hit there. So that's definitely a pro. The capacity and the parking. Let's discuss it. Even at your apartments, when you're looking for your apartment, check that out. The parking, because every night it's like a battle for me to find a parking spot. So if they have, you know, maybe a garage, if they do have garages available, more than likely they're going to charge you extra. And that's another thing with these apartments. Make sure that you're not getting nickel and dimed for everything that they have. If they give you a price for your rent, for your like a base price, make sure you get everything that's included in that, because you think you're paying, you know, $1,500 or $1,000. Let's just say it's $1,000. You think you're paying $1,000, but in all actuality, you're gonna have to pay $25. A lot of apartments up here do valet trash, and it's not really by choice. Like, you don't have an option, which I don't mind that, because I don't like taking the trash out. I don't even like touching the trash, so I'm like, I don't mind that. But that's another fee. You know, is washer and dryer available? Is it in with the unit? That's if it's not, if you got to purchase from the apartments, that's going to be an extra fee. You know, storage, that's a big one, because in Arkansas, every apartment that I had storage. I didn't have to worry about that. But here, there are not like outside storage units, or there are some available, but you got to pay extra. So just make sure that you're getting everything that's included and everything that you need, because they will try to nickel and dime you for every single thing. And by the time you end up paying all those extra fees, you at damn near $2,000. So make sure you're doing the research on the apartment that you're gonna be staying at. And another thing is, a lot of people probably already know this, but when you're looking for your apartment, find your job first and then find your apartment. You don't wanna be having to commute too far, unless you're okay with that. I know I work with some people that actually drive an hour to work, and that's cool if they're okay with doing that. But I'm the type of person, like, I don't have the patience for that, and I don't like long commutes to work, so that's not something that I'm interested in. But if you're okay with that, then that's perfectly fine. Or if you're an entrepreneur and you don't have to worry about that type of stuff, then you can, of course, just find where you want to stay. But if you do have to find a job, definitely find your job first, and then find where you're going to be staying. One of the things about the jobs and being in a bigger state there are more opportunities, better opportunities with better income. Smaller state where people aren't really leaving their positions, which makes it harder for the people under them to grow and prosper into a higher position, because those people that are in the higher positions aren't going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So here, there are definitely more opportunities to grow. One con for us ladies in particular, and men too, you know, men probably have the issue too, is finding good hairstylists or barbers, people that are consistent, people that are gonna respond. Because here, with them having such high demand to get in, if they're good and they know they're good, they know a lot of people want to see them. So they know that people are gonna be DMing them, messaging them and stuff to get in for appointments. And I mean, you'll be lucky if you get a response within the week or so. So luckily I don't have to deal with that anymore. I found my hairstylist. I'm like, I'm so thankful for her. But you know, when I first moved out here, I was not taking care of my hair. I was not doing I was getting braids back to back because I could not find a stylist. I really damaged my hair with that. Like, really damaged. Y'all can't see, but because it's growing back now, but I had cut like chunks and chunks of my hair out. We can do a video later about that and how I'm one of those. If I can't comb through it and it's just too hard for me, I'm like, I'm cutting this shit off because it'll grow back. But this time I did too much. Like, I literally was almost bald in the middle. I'm like, why did I do that? So yeah. Now, if you're of another ethnicity and stuff, you probably don't have to worry about those type of issues as much. But if you're like me, I barely know how to put my hair in a ponytail and a little bun. Y'all see it? It's in a little bun. I need somebody else to do my hair because that's just not my forte. I'm gonna let the professionals handle it. Yeah, I need somebody else in my head. I'm sorry. One of the pros though is that there's a lot of diversity here. There's a lot of different cultures. Like I was saying earlier, it's a lot of different restaurants, a lot of different foods you can try. There's so many, there's, you know, African, Jamaican, which I'm sure there are places like that in the smaller states, but it's probably not as many. You might have that one African restaurant or that one Jamaican restaurant or that one Vietnamese restaurant, you know what I'm saying? It's not as many options. But here there are so many different options when it comes to food and when it comes to just cultures and diversity, period. So they're more open-minded when it comes to that. Coming from a smaller state, it's typically more closed-minded. Arkansas specifically, they still have a lot of smaller towns that are very much discriminated, and you just have to be careful of that. But here, that's not something that you have to really worry about. So, and as far as, you know, the LGBT community, having in smaller states, it's kind of, that's not frowned upon per se, but it's like not something that's really openly accepted or openly tolerated. But here, you know, people tend to be more of themselves because they know that they can. And so it makes them more comfortable when they're surrounded by people that are like them. So that's definitely a pro to living in a bigger state, is that it's more just open-minded for sure. One of the cons, tolls. Get you a toll tag. I mean, if you want. I don't have one, but because I don't take the tolls, like it's nowhere in my route. But when I do step out, I make sure that I'm avoiding tolls if I can. But sometimes you end up on there anyway. I think they got little sneaky little routes. You have no choice but to end up on the toll road. So make sure you're being careful of that, because they will send you a bill. And yeah, you do not want to not pay that bill, because it'll be a little $5 toll tag that you have to pay. And then if you don't pay, you end up having to pay $50 a couple months later. So just to save your money and save you the trouble, go ahead and pay it as soon as you know you're on it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an entrepreneur and you're in a networking business, you know, where you're working with people and doing things where you're gonna have to market and stuff like that, move it to a bigger state, of course, it's good for that, because you're gonna have the access to be able to do that. Especially if you work for yourself or if you own your own business and stuff like that. Now, one of the things of living here specifically is the distance that you might have to drive to get to certain things. Now, being in Arkansas, driving 20 minutes away, that was kind of a stretch. It's like, ooh, do I want to? I don't know. Let me think on it. But here, more than likely, your drive is gonna be at least 20 minutes away. And you're lucky if it's not more. I like to listen to my music, like I said. I just take that time to use it as my little concert, to get turned up on my way to wherever I'm going. And before you know it, that 40 minutes or whatever, however many minutes it is, them pass by, and you're good to go. You ain't even thinking about the drive. Now, if there's traffic, then you are, because you be like, you know what? I should have stayed at home. So my personal experiences since moving here though, Texas specifically, I want to make sure that I keep reiterating Texas specifically, because I don't know how other states operate. I've literally only lived in 2 states, Arkansas and Texas. Now that I've got my feet wet with Texas, I don't know where I'm going to move next. Be on the lookout for me in your city, because I might be there. I don't know. But now that I've did it, the hardest part is doing it. The hardest part is just like taking that step. And once you do it, you're like, why didn't I do that sooner? I was supposed to do a lot of things in 2017, but I ended up getting distracted. Once you do it, it's like, what else can I do? You know, once you see that you can overcome those things that you were so scared of for a period of time there, once you see you can do it, it's like, the options are limitless. Where else can I go with this? So yeah, Texas specifically, I had my apartments, I had parked in the handicapped parking spot. Nobody told me that Texas doesn't play about that. And so I had to learn a very expensive lesson, almost $400 to get my car out of the tow because they had towed my stuff, like literally less than an hour I had parked in there. So do not, by all means, do not park in the handicapped parking spot here in Texas, anywhere in Texas. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're in Waco. I don't care if you're in Houston. I don't care if you're in Dallas. Wherever you are, do not park in the handicapped parking spot if you are not handicapped and you do not have your sticker and your license plate, because they will tow your stuff. Towing and locksmiths and all those type of things here are big businesses. So they're constantly looking for people that they can take money from. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. So I don't care if you have to walk a mile. You're gonna walk that mile so you don't have to pay that money. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna appreciate it in the long run. And another thing that I would say look for in your apartments is the water pressure. That's not something that I even thought about when I was apartment hunting. But I do look at the shower because I'm a tall female. I'm 5'9". So even if you're taller than that, I'm pretty sure you already know you're on game to look at the shower head and make sure that it's not gonna be in your face. But the water pressure, because when you're turning the faucet on, I don't like just like one stream of water. No, I need that pressure. Get these germs off. You know what I'm saying? So look at that. Now, if you're cool with it, then that's not something you gotta worry about. I need that force coming out. Like, I like hot showers. I like hot water. I like it, and I like to feel like it's really, you know, not coming out so hard to where it's getting all up on the top of the sink and all of that, but you know, a good amount. So the dating scene here as well. So with moving from any state, you know, to another state, you'd be like, okay, it's gonna be a wider range. You know, I'm gonna have a whole new selection. That is very true. That is very much true. But with being in a bigger state, they do have the capability to be able to talk to you over here in wherever you're at, and then talk to somebody else over here and wherever they're at. Not saying that they're doing that, but I'm just saying that it's easier for them to live double lives when you're in a bigger state, because it's like, you don't know. Especially if you're here in Texas, everybody here, a lot of people here are from somewhere else. So you don't know anybody, you know, they don't know anybody. They're, you know, talking to different girls, or you're talking to different dudes in different areas. But I will say, be careful with that. Be careful with that, honey, because you can get caught up, even though it's big. Look, the universe has a funny way of working, so you will get, I'm telling you, everything comes to the light. So you will get caught up. Somebody gonna get to talking. I'm telling you. So just be careful with that. Be careful with that. I'm not saying that you don't need to date, because I mean, that's what you do. When you're dating, you converse with different people. So I converse with people all day long. I'm sorry. Conversation ruled the nation. That's from my twin. Hey, twin. Conversation ruled the nation. So it's like, yeah, we converse, we talk, but did we link? Did you see me? No? Okay, well, get out of my face. What are you saying? So I will say that there's definitely a bigger dating pool, but just be careful of how many people you're dating in the pool, okay? Also, with being in a bigger state, you know, there's no beach in Arkansas. There's no beach even anywhere near Arkansas. But here in Texas, there's a beach like 2-3 hours away. So if you like beach vibes, if you're a beach baby like me, I love being by the water. I'm a water sign. Shout out to all my water signs out there. I love being by bodies of water. But I will say in Arkansas, I mean, there's a lot of lakes and ponds. So it still give you the vibe, but you ain't getting no sandy beach, baby. Nah, you're gonna have to travel for that. So you have the access to do that. You know, you can go on one weekend, 2-3 hours away, and it's good little weekend trip, little vacation, little girls trip, whatever you want. So the options are there. The options are there when you're in a bigger state. But one thing I will say about moving from a small state, when you lived in a small state so long, you're used to that small state feel. You're used to that country vibe. You're used to everybody talk. Well, I am. I talk to everybody. Here too. I mean, because people here in Texas, it's still the South. So they're still friendly. Everybody's still very nice that I've encountered. I mean, because I'm a nice person. So if you're being rude or mean or hostile with me or negative or any of that, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not. And so, like, Either you're gonna be nice and you're gonna come with positive vibes, you're gonna come with positive energy, or you're gonna get out of my face. And so that's just that. But being here, you know, it's still that small, since I stay on the outskirts of the city, it's still that small southern vibe and feel, but the options and the opportunities are there if I want to do something. That's really the main thing when you're moving. For me, when I was moving to a different state, is am I still going to be able to feel at home? Am I still going to be comfortable? Am I still going to be in my zone and like where I'm at, without being surrounded by all the people, all the traffic? I don't want to be in a city that never sleeps. But if I want to drive or go somewhere to the part of the town that never sleeps, then I want to be able to do that whenever I want to do that. So I will say that moving to Texas, you know, you still, if you're coming from a small state, you still get that small state feel with the access to the other things. So that was one of the reasons why I even picked Texas to begin with, because it wasn't that far from my hometown. It still was bigger, more prosperous, more abundant place to be. You get what I'm saying? So those are just some of my things that I went through since being here. Other than my car getting towed, you know, Texas has been good to me. But now I'm like, where do I want to move next? Where my followers say, all 5 of y'all, where my subscribers stay? Y'all tell me what, you know, is your state worth moving to? What you like about state? Are you considering moving? 2022, this is our year, y'all. This is our year. And it's the first year that we're going to have well, not the first, because we had it 2011, but this is the first year since then. We're going to have 2/22/22. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be a major day for everybody. I don't care. Y'all do something on that day. Go out for drinks. And I think it's National Margarita Day. So make sure y'all indulge in that. Like, let me go ahead and wrap this up because I ain't trying to hold y'all, but I just had to go ahead and give y'all the deets and really break it down for you, because I know there's a lot of people out there wanting to know and might be scared to move. Do it. This is your confirmation right here, right now. Do it. Because if you're thinking about it, you're constantly pondering on it, it's being sent to you for a reason. And once you think about something every day, all day, literally before I moved here, I was already thinking about what I'm going to be doing once I move here. I wasn't even moved here. I hadn't even found a job yet. I hadn't even found my place, nothing. I was already thinking as if I was living here. Like, ooh, where am I going to go today? What am I going to do this weekend? You know what I'm saying? The art of manifestation is kind of surrounded by delusion to an extent. Like, it's levels to it. But when it's something for you that you're trying to manifest and trying to bring into your life, think about it, write it down, right? Like, live as if you already obtained that. You already have what it is that you're wanting. And then it has no choice but to come. So that's just something that I wanted to share with you guys. You know, more content is coming soon. I ain't gonna tell y'all the other content because it's like, y'all gotta wait. It's a surprise. Thank y'all for tuning in. Of course, like I say, you know, stay safe, and you know, y'all will see me again shortly. Bye, everybody. Have a good day.